This is the rear of the B444DL motorhome from Hymer. The reason I'm starting off at the rear is because I can't show you the front because there's a window down there. This vehicle is only 6 meters long, and I'm going to start off by showing you the garage. And remembering it's only 6 meters long, see how much space there is in there, and you can easily get 2 bicycles in there without any trouble. Let's have a look at some of the details. It is, as I said, 6 meters, 222 wide, 296 height, with giving standing clearance of 198 centimeters internally. So it has a payload of 462 kilos, and it has an unusual layout. Start off with the bed. Bed is above the driving position. Now you'll know from my films, possibly if you've seen them before, that I don't like beds above the driving position. In this case there's no choice, because the rest of it is more or less a kitchen. I say more or less, it's not entirely, but it's if you're going to think they're doing lots of work in the kitchen, you've got your 3 burners there. You've got your sink there, and you've got all this workspace here, and plenty of storage all around. And should you decide you want to check on your bicycles or whatever, you can get into the garage down there. In here we have a little bit of hanging space and the fuse box. So plenty of space in the kitchen, plenty of space also in the bathroom. Proper duckboard. Remember, it's only 6 meters long. And now have a look down here. Here I've got the negative thing, I think, as far as I'm concerned. I know I don't like beds over the driving position, but here there's no choice, so it has to be over the driving position. It will reduce your head height and all the rest of it. So from 198 centimeters, we're now going down at this point here to 175. One thing I don't rate at all is that chair there. I just can't see the point of that whatsoever. Either leave the space for empty, which, you know, empty space in the van is not a bad thing. You don't have to put clutter in it. Alternatively, as was done with the Hymer van 522, a wardrobe could go there, and there'd be 2 wardrobes. I mean, there's already plenty of space, but you know, that is an idea. Now there is a problem, of course, putting a wardrobe in, because the bed is going to drop, so that some allowance would have to be made for that. Now, one thing with the bed, you've got the ladder up there. Now these ladders are very easy to get up and down by, but one thing with the van is where you actually keep it, because it doesn't look quite right there. And so do you put it in the garage? Well, maybe you could put it in the garage, couldn't you? Because you don't have to go outside to put it in the garage, so that would be one place it could go. Or when you're moving, maybe it can go into the toilet or something. But when you're in a van, a lot of time is spent moving things around from one place to the other, and so that's the reason why the ladder is up there at the moment. I really appreciate a integrated model, because you get all this extra space up there, and when you're parked somewhere, you can stick your flowers up there, or you can leave your laundry up there, or whatever. I think that's very good. Another thing is, how many doors do you need? Well, you haven't got one on that side. No, there is a driver's door, but I tend to keep that locked anyway. I think the habitation door is enough for most people. That's what I tend to use. There is a slight problem with the habitation door though, and it's this. It's when you come in weather like today, you've got snow, and it's you don't really want a trail of wet feet across your living area. I take my shoes off in the living area, which means that now I'm coming in through the driver's door, taking my shoes off in the driving seat, and then walking to the rear of the van. I think this van has a lot of potential. It's very interesting to see how it's been done. You know, with these vans we had the rear kitchen, and this is more like the half van kitchen. It's very curious, it's interesting. Is it suitable for the full-timer? Well, maybe it is, but I really think that they ought to get rid of this chair here. And another thing is, I know that many people want to be able to leave their beds without having to make them up every night, and in that I do sympathise and I do agree, and I think personally I would prefer a van where the bed doesn't have to be made up at all.